Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about the big reveal here for The Walking Dead Dead City. There was a lot of information that came out today, so I'm going to break down everything and get into sort of everything that was revealed in the opening minutes here. So we never actually got the trailer or teaser trailer, but I actually think we got something way better here, which is the opening minutes to the season. And this really sets up the story here and does show us something that I thought was going to be a bigger reveal in the season. And I'm actually way happier that it's happening like right away. Like this is how the season is starting, and we're gonna see how this plays out all season, because it seems like the Croat and the Dama have found a way to actually have power, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense now as to why a lot of groups around them are gonna want what they have. So yeah, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. And also, I do want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who was there on Twitch. We all reacted to the event as it happened. I will be streaming later on today, or it's going to be tomorrow or the next day. I'm not entirely sure like of the schedule over the next week, but there definitely will be a few streams. I will be streaming a bunch of random games. I might be streaming Dead by Daylight, but for sure I will be streaming The Walking Dead Telltales. We actually already did a stream of that. I finished episode 1 of season 1. It's my first time really streaming it, and honestly it feels like it's my first time playing it because I don't remember anything from the story like at all. I remember the ending of season 1, but everything else to get to that point, like it's all been brand new to me. So yeah, I hope to see you guys there on Twitch. If you do want to follow me on Twitch and take part in these streams here. Yeah, so let's get into what we learned here. So obviously the big reveal here, I mean, there is the opening minutes, which obviously is like probably a bigger reveal, but the reveal that I'm the most excited about is actually the release date here. So it's been something I've been talking about for a while. I've been saying that I think the release date is going to be early May, and it is that. It's actually May 4th here, and I knew it. Like I knew that because Dark Winds is going to be finishing airing on April 27th, AMC doesn't really have another show lined up for like right after that. So I was kind of thinking like it makes sense. Like May 4th kind of feels like it's going to be the day, and we actually got the reveal today. So May 4th is the premiere date. It's exactly 68 days as of today. So really, really exciting. Honestly, like that's going to fly right by. 68 days. We're 3 weeks away from the full trailer, in my opinion, because usually they release the full trailer. It's like 40 days, I would say, roughly. It's about that distance away from the premiere date. So I think that in about 3 weeks from now, we'll probably get the trailer. Beforehand, there might be a teaser trailer. There's going to be like TV spots and like obviously artwork and all of that. So there's going to be a lot of promotion now. And I think that that's really the exciting thing about this. Like I think if the release date was like later June or something like that, it would definitely would be something that would be a little bit disappointing because we might have to wait for like any sort of reveals, right? But that's not what's happening here. It's actually coming out May 4th, which is absolutely incredible. And I just really cannot wait now for this show to actually air. So before we get into the opening minutes here, there was actually an interview done with the cast just before they actually revealed a lot of this here, before they got into the release date. And one detail that we learned that I'm going to do a video talking about how this could make sense, but it was that Maggie is actually going to hold Lucille, it seems like, at some point in season 2. So I'm just going to have to do a video talking about this, I guess, more in detail in terms of why I think this could be happening, because it's really interesting. Like for Maggie to actually be holding Lucille, like that's going to be, I mean, I really do wonder why. Like, is it something where maybe like she ends up killing somebody, right? And she has to use the bat? Like, I just really wonder what they're going to do this season, because imagine a scene like that would be absolutely insane. So yeah, obviously really excited about that. And in terms of everything else they talked about, it was really just like their experiences on set and everything, in terms of Lauren Cohen directing an episode, which is really cool. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was talking about how protective he is over Lucille, like the bat, and that's really cool. But in terms of the opening minutes here, so this was really surprising, because I thought that, again, like we've been seeing a lot of rumors and everyone's sort of been talking like, oh, we're gonna get like this first look trailer sort of thing, but it's actually the opening minutes. And I'm just gonna say I do prefer this overall, and the reason why I prefer this is because this is what The Walking Dead used to do way back in the day. It was like reveal the opening minutes and stuff, and it was just like such a cool thing to watch the opening minutes of the season like a few months beforehand, right? And so to me, this is so much better than getting a smaller trailer or something right now, when they're going to be revealing the trailer in like 3 weeks from now or whatever, right? So very cool to see here. And yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. And so the season starts here with New York City. There's a daytime shot here. And yeah, we see this garbage truck here driving around and collecting walkers. And so that seems to be sort of, I guess, a tease at what to expect for the season, because obviously one thing that we've learned a lot lot of the interviews talking about this season is that they do use walkers for fuel and whatnot, right? Like to sort of create energy and everything, to obviously what we see at the very ending of the opening minutes, you know, to create power and everything like that. And so this is something that in terms of, I've been seeing some criticism in terms of how they can actually do it. It does actually make some sense. There was some things in season 1 where they kind of got into it a little bit more, where they explained everything. So I don't have to question that. Like, to me, that all makes a lot of sense. But I will say the choice of music here in this scene, this is, you know, something that we're talking about on the stream, actually. Like, this is something that Dead City has done really well. And this is like classic Walking Dead, right? Like, they used to do this all the time with this show. And like, I feel like in the later seasons of The Walking Dead, there were a couple episodes where they did do it, and, you know, it was really cool. But yeah, this is something that definitely is sort of it's something that, you know, if you've been watching The Walking Dead for a while, you've definitely seen them, you know, do that a lot before. But we do see them actually in this place here. And so I imagine that this is, like, obviously we don't know what group this is. It doesn't specifically say it in the scene, but I believe that this is actually the Croat and Dama's group here, just because of the outside here, and it looks like just the building that they're in. It's very similar to some of the shots that we see of Negan as like the new leader or like enforcer for the group, right? And so we see them here using the walkers for fuel and whatnot. And honestly, it's absolutely just insane to see this. Like, it makes sense that at this point in the zombie apocalypse that this is going to happen, right? Like, at first, obviously, it's not going to be something that people are trying to do, because it's really just like, well, you're trying to survive. But at a certain point, when it gets very easy to survive and it's starting to, you know, get to the point where you're starting to think about the future and all of that, like, a lot of this stuff is going to start to happen now. And so that's sort of where we're at here with The Walking Dead. I mean, we've been here for a while now, but in terms of, you know, power coming on in New York City, this is where we're at. And yeah, we see Radio City Music Hall here. The power turns on. And so like, this is honestly a really, really exciting reveal, because yes, we did see this ending. I think the reveal for this was around, I can't remember exactly when it was, but maybe it was like October or something like that. But the one thing that I will say, so in terms of like the artwork and everything, we didn't really get a lot of that, but The Walking Dead actually did post this really incredible artwork here revealing the release date. And the one thing that I want to point out here is that there's different colors here obviously used here. There's like a lot of red and I guess more yellow here and stuff. So I think that this is honestly going to be the look. Like, when we get the actual official artwork for the show for season 2, which really, like in the next week or two, like, it's probably going to be out, right? I think we're going to see a lot of this here. It's going to be a lot of red and blue, and yeah, basically what this is here. So really, really exciting. I can't wait to see exactly what it's going to be. I imagine that Radio City Music Hall is going to be a big part of that poster. I mean, I'm trying to think of what else they're going to do there. If there's going to be other characters a part of the poster, or if they're just going to stick with Maggie and Negan. I imagine they'll just stick with them, because like with the other shows, there's other bigger characters, but they do just sort of stick with the main characters, right? So yeah, I think the reveal today was honestly really incredible here. And now it's just, now we're doing the countdown, right? 68 days until this show premieres here. And so, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it here though. Definitely post all your thoughts down below on the opening minutes here, and your predictions for the season, your thoughts on the release date. And I'll do a video talking about, you know, more of, I guess, why they're using walkers and everything for energy. I'll rewatch the ending of season 1 and I'll get into a whole like explanation for that. I will do a recap and all that, I guess, once we get the trailer. I'll wait for that probably till like the end of March, where I'll do a recap of like what to expect for the season going into season 2 here, what's going on with like Daryl Dixon and the ones who live. And I also do want to do a video on Maggie holding Lucille, because to me, that's honestly, like, I really feel like, I don't know where this story's going for Negan, but I know that he's going to not like having the bat again, but there's going to be like a back and forth with it. And I do imagine we're going to get some really cool scenes, but the fact that Maggie's going to have Lucille at some point, like, I don't know if it's going to be a scene where, you know, she ends up like killing somebody, or if it's like she's holding the bat just for like whatever reason, right? But yeah, I think that, you know, that scene in general could be probably one of the most like iconic scenes of the season, just because I'm trying to think of in the past, like whenever certain characters have like ever held Lucille, it's always been something that like obviously was a big highlight of an episode, or like a big moment of just the season in general. Like when Rick had Lucille like back in season 8, that's something that people talk about still to this day. Like even going back to season 8, it's one of the best moments of the season. So I think that Maggie, especially Maggie, right, because of her connection to Lucille, I think that it would be absolutely incredible. And I just wonder, like, I'm really just wondering about like how that part of the story is going to advance this season, because like, you know, like there's always that element to Dead City that I think is sort of what makes the show special, which is the connection to Glenn's death and like how Maggie feels about it, how she's evolved over time, and also Negan as well, right? Like he's changed a lot over the years, and how Herschel's going to feel about it. And like, I just wonder how they're going to advance that story this season. You know, like Maggie having the bat, like it's just, man, like I'm so excited for this season. I really cannot wait. But we have 68 days, you know, to go here. And I think over the next 3 weeks, we're going to get like these little teasers here and there. There's going to be some more information, you know, like interviews, articles, and all of that. And it'll build, I think, until the trailers release, which I think will be like 3 weeks away roughly. And then after that, there'll be, well, actually, I think that's when the articles and like the interviews and stuff will come out. But yeah, at some point, I think before that, we'll get the official artwork, I think, for the season. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.